But what I was saying is when I started my business, power hours were what really, really helped guide me. Um, Listening to other leaders sharing how they did their business. And if any of you guys were on Joanna's call yesterday, it's going to look a little bit different than what I'm doing with Power Hour today. But the whole point of it is the same. We're still focusing on one central thing of getting your meat and potatoes done with your business. Because with this job, it's so very easy for us to get caught up in the fluff. It's so easy for us to get caught up in scrolling or just watching, sitting back and watching. And it could be good things like doing the trainings, um, learning how to message, learning how to post, but then we don't take that next step to get into action. And so that's what I love about Power Hours. So I encourage you guys, if you are able to make it a priority these next 2 weeks, I guess week and a half of this challenge, to show up to these power hours. If you're not able to come on every morning, that's okay. I have a post in that Mexico Momentum page just up at the very top where we're putting all of the recordings. So I really encourage you guys to do that. We're going to start off this morning with I'm really passionate about a lot of things with what we get to do with Plexus, but adding value to people is something that I feel like helps us shift our mindset from me and what are people going to think of me. I'm really afraid to send this message because I don't want I want my heart to come out. I don't want these people to think this. I'm nervous to make this post. When we shift our mindset from that of me to how is this going to help add value to people, there's a huge shift in your business because you start to find that fulfillment. You start to find that joy. And so there's like a 5-minute video, and you guys are blessed because I am doing today's task in the day 3 Mexico Momentum. So you guys are already going to be able to mark off one thing from the task. So if you guys will bear with me, I'm going to share the screen. It's only a 5-minute video, and then we will get down to business. Give me a thumbs up, Beverly. I see you and Tina. If you guys will give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, if you can't hear it, that would be great.
If you want 2019 to be the year that you really want to be, here's the secret of making it a great year.
Thank you.
I'll guarantee it. If you'll just do what I'm about to share, it's just going to set you up for an incredible 2019. Every day, serve someone. Every day. Every day add value to people. Every day serve one. Every day live the intentional life of doing for others, sometimes what they cannot do for themselves. And if you will put people first and add value to them and serve them, it becomes absolutely amazing what you and I are going to have and achieve, how we're going to help people, and in return, how it comes back to us. Benjamin Franklin said this: "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of someone else." If you're helping someone else lift a load in your life, you become a very useful person. Mahatma Gandhi said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. But perhaps on this kind of a theme, my favorite quote is from Albert Schweitzer, who said, "I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I do know. The only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." The happiest people are not always the most successful people, but they're the ones who serve the best. I've met a lot of unhappy, successful people, haven't you? But I've never met an unhappy person that gave their life of serving and giving and adding value to other people. Martin Luther King Jr. said, everybody can be great because everybody can serve. If you will help people get what they want, then you'll receive everything that you need in life. We got to work at this. If 2019 is going to be an incredible year, you're going to have to look at the year and say to yourself, what can I do to add value to people instead of what are people going to do to add value to me? What can I do to serve people instead of, I wonder who in this next year is going to serve me? We're going to have to do a complete mind shift in that whole process. Service over status. You know, there are two kinds of people. There are the people that do what is right and then feel good, and there are some people who want to feel good before they do what is right. And if you want to feel good before you ever do what is right, you and I will not do a lot of things right, because we'll let our emotions control it. But the moment that we say, no, I'm going to do the right thing, and then I'll let the emotion follow. Character over comfort. Now here's the key. If you and I are going to make 2019 a great year of serving people, let me tell you, the first thing's going to happen to you, the first thing's going to happen is we're going to be inconvenienced. Because when you have to serve people, they don't do it on your time schedule. Sometimes when people say, well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't even know if I have those kind of... Listen to me. The moment that we really have a desire to add value to other people, our whole life will begin to change. And so if 2019 is going to be the year that we really want to make it, I'm going to share with you right now 5 things I do every day. And I want you to do them every day in this year. And I will promise you, your life is about to incredibly change. And all 5 of these things I'm going to give you right now, you can do them. These aren't hard, these aren't complicated. Every day, number one, every day I value people. And that's the foundation of everything we're talking about. If I don't value people, I'll never add value to them. I'll manipulate them, I'll do all kinds of bad things. But it all begins with valuing people. Number 2, every day I think of ways to add value to people. In other words, I'll look at my schedule in the morning, and I'll say where I'm going to go, who I'm going to see perhaps, and I'll say, okay, what can I do to add value to those people? I think of ways to add value to people. Number 3, every day I look for ways to add value to people. Number 4, every day I do things that value people. Every day. In fact, at the end of the day, the last thing I do every evening is I do a 10-minute inventory of my day, and one of the questions I ask is, who did I add value to today? Who did I serve today? Okay? Every day. Every day. I value people. Think of ways to add value to people. Look for ways to add value to people. Do things that add value to people. And number 5, I encourage others to add value to me. I do those 5 things every day.
So I feel like when we take that into practice, it changes everything for our mindset. Take the focus off of us and us getting the sale, us hitting that next rank, us, having the right points. Take our focus off of that and shift it, switch it over to serving others. And I promise you, you will have so much more fun. You will feel so much more fulfilled. And those feelings will breathe out of you into the people that you are talking to. And they will want that because it's from your heart. So today we're going to be focusing on adding some value. I want us to spend the next 5 minutes. If you don't have customers or ambassadors, I will address that in just a second. But right now we're going to spend the next 5 minutes adding value to our customers or our ambassadors. So what we can start with would be maybe somebody that you have signed up recently that you haven't checked in on in a while. I'm going to send some example messages that I created last night. I'll put it over in the chat. If you don't have a customer or an ambassador, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your Facebook feed or your Instagram, and I want you to think specifically of people that have been put on your heart that you think could really benefit from these products or could just be amazing with the business. And I want you to go and intentionally go to their Facebook wall or to their Facebook Messenger and send them a message of adding value to them. Don't make it like forced. Share it from your heart. Like if you were to see Melanie in the street, what would you say to her if you were to see her? Like make it heartfelt. So we'll spend about 5 minutes with that. If you guys have questions, put it in the chat, but I will also put example, um, my examples in the chat. So 5 minutes on adding value to customers or ambassadors. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to show you one thing. You can add value in all the ways. Text message, phone call, Marco Polo. If you don't have Marco Polo, that's been a fun one that I've really enjoyed with my people. It's just like a voice or a face text messaging kind of thing. But something that I really have started to love doing is I am sending out postcards to every single customer or ambassador that I sign, just letting them know that I value them and I'm thanking them. And I just did a family picture and I went to WordSwag. You can go to Canva and I just wrote in here, thankful for you, love the Burgess family. And then I've got my return label on the back and I just had it printed, I think through Vistaprint. So you can do stuff very intentional like that to add value to your people. Sorry, I'll stop talking. Okay, so 5 minutes is up. I want everybody to make sure that you're seeing the chat. Feel free to go to the chat. We've got at least 3 message examples here. Copy and paste them and put them into a Word document and title it scripts. So that way you can go back when you're starting to feel a little bit like, oh, I don't know what I need to send, just for inspiration. Okay, so next we're going to move forward to birthdays. I love doing birthdays because I feel like that just naturally like adds value to your people, especially if you do it in the morning, making people feel loved and celebrated, and it opens up conversations. And I always encourage my team to send messages in Messenger or text message or Marco Polo. Don't just go right on their wall. This helps create a conversation and it makes you and your message stand out from the crowd who posts on the newsfeed. So go to your Facebook, see whose birthday is today, take a look at the chat. I've got a couple of examples if you need them. We'll spend about 5 minutes doing birthdays. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up with a way that I really love to add value with my reach outs and with my follow ups. I think there can be so much offered through people's stories, through testimonials. So let's go ahead and say that all of you guys have reached out to a lot of people in the past. So, follow up is huge. I know that many of you have heard this, but it takes like 5 to 20 points of contact for people to finally start to feel confident in saying yes and learning more about the products, how the products can help them. And so, one way that I really love to follow up with people is through testimonials. So, let's say that I've been talking to Katie Burns. I'm just throwing this out there. Let's say I've been talking to Katie Burns. She's on my dream team list. She has shared with me that she's a little skeptical, but she does have some health goals. And that was months and months ago. Well, she's still in my heart. She's kind of ghosted me. All of this is hypothetical, of course. She would never ghost me. But I see a testimonial in my team's testimonial page that has something in there that reminds me of her. That is such a great way to follow up with her, even if it's been months. Hey, Katie, I just saw this incredible story of this lady whose story sounds so similar to you. Like it's crazy to me, the similarities. Would you be open to me sending it to you or sharing it with you? That kind of gets that conversation back up and rolling again. And so we call that add, tag, and message, ATM. Adding people to your testimonial page, tagging them in stories that resonate with them and what they've shared with you with their health goals, health struggles, and then messaging them to let them know. So that's kind of the route that we're going to finish up today. You can utilize those testimonials for first brand new reach outs. Let's say Dora and I are good friends, and I know that she is a stay-at-home mom really struggling with, I don't know, anxiety. I know that because we're friends. I've never talked to her about Plexus before, but I see a story that sounds similar to her. I'm going to reach out to her about it. So let's utilize those testimonials. So if you have a team testimonial page, somebody just asked, do I recommend tagging instead of copying and pasting it into your chat? I think that depends. I think if I'm doing this method of like following up with somebody, just like I did my example with Katie, I probably would not tag them. I probably would ask, is it okay with you if I share this? Would you be open to me sharing this story with you? And they say yes, then I'm going to copy it and paste it more than likely. If that person is in my team testimonial page, then I might tag her, but I might also go back and say, hey, I just tagged you in it. Can you see it? Are you able to see the tag? That's a good question. So I'm going to put some message examples into the chat. Here's the thing too, don't waste your time on going and looking for a specific testimonial right now. Like most things like anxiety, digestion issues, sleep, autoimmune, fatigue, all of so many of those things people have seen results with. So don't waste your time right now as you're starting this follow-up process trying to find the perfect one. Wait for them to respond and say, yeah, I would love to have that. Does that make sense? So I'm going to send you guys some examples in the chat. Let's go ahead and focus on following up with people that you have talked to in the past that have shared with you some health struggles, or people that you know well that you've not ever reached out to, that maybe they've shared on social media they have headaches or their kid has eczema. Let's utilize those testimonials. So I'm going to send you guys some examples and we'll end this call in about 10 minutes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for jumping on with me this morning. Again, I encourage you all to do your best to jump onto all the power hours the remaining week and a half. Grow your skills, grow your confidence, see the different examples that other leaders share with you, and you figure out what feels right for you, where you can add value to other people. I'm going to leave the chat up for a few minutes if you guys want to copy and paste those message examples. But just remember, when you are sitting down to do your work, eliminate the fluff and get to the meat and the potatoes. That is the first thing you need to do. And the meat and the potatoes would be reaching out, following up, sharing on social media, and training yourself. Those 4 things. That is what's going to make your business move forward. So if you're not doing those 4 things first, make a shift in your business so that way you can feel really good that you've done the important work first. And then you can go and do the fun and the fluff, but get that meat and potatoes done first. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. I'll keep this up for another minute so that way you guys can copy those scripts if you want them. See you guys later. Okay, does everybody have it? I don't want to. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, guys. See you later.